washing clothes?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ, man! You know the goddamn... That's your goddamn... You doing this shit?
We're not washing clothes.
Then who the hell? Look at this shit! Ah, damn!
Hello everyone, I'm Angelo. I'm a filmmaker in Los Angeles, been living in my car for 9 months. I was thinking yesterday about Angry Grandpa on YouTube, the Angry Grandpa Show channel, his son Pickle Boy, and I still watch the old videos, and that channel is maybe my favorite channel of all time on YouTube. And I was thinking about, he died about a year and a half ago or so, and I just still watch his videos, watching the old ones.
Oh, this is bad.
God damn. I smell like a goddamn whorehouse. I smell like goddamn last week's abortions.
I almost don't, I love watching him. I hate to say I miss him, because, I hate to think he's not around, because I would love to see what he's doing right now if he was around. That's what I love doing all the time. I couldn't wait for the next Angry Grandpa upload for the years that I was watching him, from late 2011 to, well, till when he died, about 7 years later. If you don't know Angry Grandpa, first of all, he's responsible for this channel even existing in a way. It was around before I saw him, but so many of my viewers came from him. I absolutely loved him. Loved watching him. He was hilarious. Angry old Southern guy in a trailer in South Carolina who would destroy everything. He would destroy the walls, ovens, stovetops, tables, refrigerators, boom boxes, TVs, washing machine, dryer, couches, chairs. He would take out food, throw it on the floor. He would pretty much literally destroy everything. He got arrested at least once for it, that I know of, and I found his channel in 2011 through the Christmas tree video, where he's trying to set up a Christmas tree with his wife Tina, and his and Pickle Boy, his son Michael, was there. He's called Pickle Boy because I think Grandpa dumped a jar of pickles on his head once, and that's how you get your nickname in the South. So he's Pickle Boy, Grandpa's Angry Grandpa.
Hey, you got no goddamn instructions!
They're on the couch.
Oh, shut up! There's no goddamn instructions nowhere!
And so in the Christmas video, he was yelling at his wife Tina, screaming at her, cussing, and I was shocked. I thought it would be a nice kind of funny. He was really mean and angry, and it was shocking and disturbing, and I was kind of angry at him for how he was treating everybody and how he's so mean.
I got a question. Who died? Who died?
That's
I feel like I'm in a goddamn funeral home!
But it's funny, after a while I got used to it. I came to understand what he was doing, and it was absolutely hilarious. I love the idea of just someone so unfiltered angry, but not hostility and angry, but not venomous towards others. His anger was always some people, they got that nasty kind of, that anger and hatred that's directly aimed at hurting others. His was he just can't handle, he doesn't know how to problem solve, and he's frustrated.
Pop, move on, get this out the water.
Ah, shut up. Everybody wants to wash clothes, Murray. Nobody wants to wash the goddamn wash sheet.
Pop, they're your
You gotta do it every motherfucking time. You gotta do it every motherfucking time you wash clothes.
They're your
You gotta do motherfucking shop.
Now I get that's also how anybody gets angry, but just there wasn't that venomous quality that when some people get angry, it's directly aimed at someone else. Somehow with him, there was just a kind of gentleness to the anger in a way. I can't say gentleness, but a kind of silliness, or a sense that, well, it's just it's not directed directly at somebody. That's all I mean. Some people, it's like loaded at them like a harpoon. With him, it was just kind of him erupting.
Here.
At least, you know, everything I saw. So I love the idea of somebody just, you know, there's this like purity to just expressing himself.
Whoa! Okay, this is getting dangerous!
Fuck y'all!
And I love other filmmakers and YouTubers who are like that. Recently, I met Chad Goes Deep, the people there, and saw a video. I saw a live podcast from them. Watch out for that, by the way. I'm gonna link to I'll link to their channel. I don't know. The video's not up yet, but I asked a question and it was a lot of fun at the end of the podcast. They filmed it. But I don't know if it's up yet or whatever. But I like those guys too. It's like just this pure expression without like, and just knowing who they are and what they do, and that's what Angry Grandpa was.
Little Bridget, little short, little motherfucking arms, little tiny ass head, little beady fucking little beady eyes, and a goddamn little face. Oh, Bridget, it's so nice to meet you. Get out of my goddamn house. Get out. Get out.
And again, I was thinking about this because I was thinking I miss him, you know. I wish I could see what he's doing right now. That's what I love doing. When I first found him, it was about the time I moved into a friend's condo in Fairfax, and I quit my job washing cars a few weeks or months before, not a few months, probably like 2 or 3 months before that. So it was the first time in my life that I had quit my job and just to focus on filmmaking. And I was more of a videographer back then. I didn't focus on YouTube so much, but I was depressed. Hey, what's new? And you know, lonely and paranoid and struggling to get things going. And the big sort of like, you know, like place, like refuge from all that was watching an Angry Grandpa video. And so when a new video came out, like I just couldn't wait, like, and I was sad that they weren't longer, because back then, you know, YouTube, Pickle Boy was making videos like there was no polish to them or anything. It was just the film, maybe it might be right in the middle of Grandpa yelling about something, literally mid-scream, and then it would just end. And I loved that purity of this like home video, and I only regretted that they weren't longer. Like I loved watching them.
Oh my god.
Motherfucker! Go down, you son of a bitch! Go down!
And as a, like, I just love seeing the expression. I loved it when Grandpa would be quiet and serious. So they weren't all angry. I love the quiet videos too. This, you know, this existence in a trailer park in South Carolina. Eventually moved to another trailer, and I met him and filmed with him, so a lot of you know that. I'm sure a lot of the viewers came from there. But before I get to that, one of my favorite videos of his was the one where he was saying, like around Christmas time, I couldn't believe it's such a good video, where he says it gets better. And it's just him filming. He doesn't film it very professionally. He's holding the camera up to himself. Apparently Pickle Boy said like he would constantly break those cameras that he gave him to film on Grandpa's Corner, the channel for Angry Grandpa to film by himself. He would sometimes film his own cooking. Grandpa made a video saying it gets better, and I was so depressed at the time and sad. Like, it was so nice to watch him say that. Not that I ever truly believe that in a way, but it's like nice to see someone, hey, like, of all the hatred and anger he had, he was all like, but it wasn't really like hatred in a way. It's weird to explain it because it sounds like I'm like making excuses for something. It just, and I was there to see his anger. To me, I was laughing. Like, it's just so silly how he does it. There's not a harmful quality to it when you're around him, at least if you understand it. Obviously, like, there are people who could take it the wrong way, and it seemed to scare the hell out of Pickle Boy or a lot of times. But I love seeing him just talk to the camera and talk about, you know, this sort of like wisdom from home, talking about, you know, supporting others, reaching out to others, being with family, or if you don't have family, hold on a little longer. He was talking about people who were suicidal who reached out to him for help. And certainly I was devastated for a long time. I mean, this was before I became seriously disabled. And so I was watching those and loved them. I made my remixes of Angry Grandpa. I put several hours into them. I just loved watching them. You can see those on my channel. You just look up Angry Grandpa Flying Over Trout and you'll find some other stuff with them. And again, I was just thinking the last few days, man, I hate to even say I miss him because I hate to think he's gone. I would love to see what he's doing right now. Even if he's just hanging out and talking. Being with his family in the home that Pickle Boy got him. I would have loved to see that. And that was what I looked forward to all the time. And I never want to forget those memories. It was like a different lifetime ago now. I feel like a different person, an older man in a way. I mean, I don't consider myself an old man, but it was such a new time for me. And I just love this experience. We'll never have anything like Angry Grandpa again. There's lots of other funny and angry people. I love Auntie Fee. She passed away. I love TJ's dad, TJ Brown, or TJ and Friends. And his dad died before I think YouTube was even around, or maybe shortly after. But TJ would film him and just make home videos of him screaming. And they're all different. So there was nothing like Angry Grandpa ever before. And there will be nothing like him after. It was just hilarious. I would show him to my mom and wonder what the hell is this.
You don't have to throw a goddamn motherfucker in the yard. I don't give a goddamn. I go by the goddamn tree like I like it.
Now, when I got really sick, if you don't know, I got mental illness and I was serious, horribly a lot of pain, and I could no longer enjoy stuff. I would still force myself to watch Angry Grandpa, even though it hurt desperately. I do not know how to describe it. It's just I went psychotic in a way, detached from reality and in just physical searing pain to where I could not feel and process emotions like ordinary everyday living. Everything was this horrible pressure cooker that was excruciating. So it hurt just to watch Angry Grandpa videos because it felt like this horrible unraveling and some kind of weird being crushed by something. Anyway, it's just horrible because I was trying to watch people experience normal emotions and I was quickly losing my mind. Seriously, just losing my sanity. To the point where I just didn't want to live anymore, and struggled for the next 9 months with that disability. When I got better, it was still a long process of rebuilding myself and my emotion. I feel like I always am. Sometimes I always slip up and have these delusions related to Christianity and wanting to be destroyed by God and taken by him. By the way, for all you Christians, it's not out of thinking, I was taught the wrong doctrine. I was taught a vengeful God. No, it was a God that loves, that I hate and I don't want. And I cannot believe in. That's the thing. Even during that time, I tried, cannot believe in it. But I have these delusions that God wanted to just take me and be with him, but I wouldn't. Anyways, wanted to take me, but yet I could not die to actually be taken, and it was just horrible. So don't preach to me about you need to learn about a loving God. That's exactly what I hate. An idea that God that won't relent, that won't leave me alone. I don't want a God like that. That's that's invasive to me. And again, I can't even believe it. It's total nonsense. I looked at so much of the history of the world, the history of religion. It's so blatantly false. The idea that one religion, why did God have one religion set up, Judaism, and then change it with a different religion and different values? Why would God change? How is that not just what people would do if there was no God, and just make up this story and amend it and totally alter it? Ridiculous.
Goddamn motherfucking trailer trash motherfucking son of a bitch, dog dead licking bitch!
When I got better, I was still, loved Angry Grandpa, wanted to be as involved as possible as I could. Short story of it is, I was trying to get involved in some way. I was actually trying to get not a negative reaction, but I wanted Pickle Boy and Bridget, his girlfriend, it's called Princess, to do this princess video challenge that they were going to do for like 200,000 subscribers or something, because I'm like, hey, they didn't hold up to the challenge or whatever, we should get them to do it. And at this point, you know, I'm not understanding. They're just regular people. They're not, you know, and the princess challenge was like she dresses up in a princess gown and like goes to Olive Garden or something. I can't remember. But it was hard to understand that on YouTube, like, everything looks glamorous, but they're just regular people. And there was a reason they didn't do the video. They talked about it. Basically, it was going to be kind of uncomfortable for her to do it. And it's totally cool. So I was glad they were cool with me after that. And they did something, some kind of reaction. I don't know. But I thought whatever they did, I can't remember now. It was amazing. And I even made a thank you video for them doing it. She did end up getting a tattoo, I think. Maybe that was another time. I can't remember. Anyways, the point is, so after that, I got to know him a little bit. I talked to Grandpa on the phone, messaged Pickle Boy a little bit. He was very nice to me after the initial, like, mistrust of me. And then I had a business trip for my videography. I went to South Carolina, and it was going to be like an hour away from him. So I said, hey, can we make videos together?
Some more pecan pinwheels, and you can't have any! They're all for Michael!
I'll be goddamn!
It's all my stuff.
I'll be goddamn!
No,
It's all mine.
They're taking the fuck out of my house.
Pick them up.
Get out of my goddamn house! Go back to goddamn DC!
that was highly uncalled for.
Don't give a fuck, I do what I want in my house.
So I went and pranked Angry Grandpa, and he reacted to Tim's Cook-Off, which just came out after that. And then I shot a bunch of interviews with him. The trailer smelled. It was dirty. This is not me saying anything negative, because, like, that's how he was, like Grandpa was. Totally, like, there's no veneer. Nothing, you know, was fake about him. So it was a great time. I loved it. It totally, like, made my life, really. I got a bunch of subscribers from it, and that to me was incredible. I was still depressed, still lonely, working 2 jobs, just miserable. But that was what made my channel cross 1,000 subscribers, was working with him. It was incredible. And after that, I always wanted to do more with him. He called my mom on Christmas. There's a video of that up. I got gifts from his house. It's funny. I gave the shirt to my mom. He gave us a, goddamn pinwheel eating bitch, because that was one of his lines that he screamed at somebody. He loved his pecan pinwheels, basically like cinnamon buns, but with pecans in it. And it smelled like cigarettes. And I just gave it to my mom, and she's like, "Oh, it smells like a man." And my mom loves Angry Grandpa too. The next, I guess, major time I worked with him, well, I decided, I just took it upon myself to just drive one day to his trailer, 500 miles away, got a rental car. I was just so depressed and lonely. I wanted to see Grandpa, and went there, just met him, hung out for an hour or 2, filmed with him. You can see that Angry Grandpa gets, Angelo's mom's Ravani, whatever. He said he wanted to marry my mom. It was cool. I talked about how depressed I was after my disability and having to rebuild my life, and how sad and crushingly lonely it was. He was encouraging. He's just like, well, you got to rebuild. And then when Pickle Boy invited me to do the Walking Dead prank, look up Angry Grandpa Walking Dead prank, and Pickle Boy again was so cool to me this whole time. He would like show me previews of stuff before it went up. And again, I was laughing my ass off at Grandpa, telling anybody I could about his videos for all these years. I loved the Draw My Life one.
There's you. There's the house. That's then. This is now. I'm done.
Take this serious.
No, you did what you did is gonna wrap it up your ass. I've done enough.
The idea that Grandpa was like drawing, he's like, oh, okay, I draw my life, and he was not cooperative at all. He's like, here's me going to work. Here's me as a kid. Here's me going to school. He just drew a squiggly line. He's like, here's me going home. He's like, this is my life, a bunch of nothing. And he took like not like a chainsaw, but like a hedge clipper, an electric one, and started trying to cut through the dry erase board, but he couldn't. It bounced off, and then he just went down into the chair it was lit on. He just cut through the chair and was screaming. I loved him destroying the dryer, which happened right after I went to see his trailer. I just love the idea of somebody just expressing themselves and being angry. It's like how I wish I could be. I wish I could just scream and break stuff and not get in trouble for it. I know people wouldn't like that, and I would get in trouble for it.
I was a little boy. That's me as a little boy. Now I grew up to be a mean-ass teenager who didn't like people. I grew up. Then all of a sudden, I grew up, became a man. Had 4 fucking little brats.
8 stomachs.
One asshole named Mike. And I'll draw a picture of the little fat little bastard.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Are you heavy?
Please put it down! Shoot it! Ah, what's the point? Okay, I get your point!
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you my one.
But the Walking Dead prank, so Pickle Boy said he wanted to prank Grandpa by getting people to play zombies and terrify him, make him think zombies were attacking, and he wanted me to shoot a news segment for it. So I used to intern at a public access station and volunteer there. I went there in Arlington, got some actors and crew together, and we shot a news segment of like talking about how, you know, zombies or people are coming back to life.
We're just learning that some of the most affected areas are the cities of Charleston, Mount Pleasant,
What?
Somerville, and
Oh my God!
County.
I don't know what to do!
I don't either, Michael!
By the attackers. Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, yeah! Ah!
And killing people and eating them, and then I did the emergency broadcast thing, and so he played that in the video, and that video, I forget how many, I think it got like over 10 million views overall, and that was awesome. Pickle Boy gave me the shout out for it. I was so appreciative of that. There's no Flying Over Trout channel without Angry Grandpa. What it is, like, he's the godfather. Him and like Tim Heidecker are kind of like the godfathers of this channel. And after that, they did 1 or 2 shout outs to me, and Pickle Boy told Grandpa that I did the news segment. He's like, "What, Angelo, Mike?" He's like, "I'm gonna get Angelo. If it's the last thing I do." Oh man, that was so great. And I wish he could have gotten me for that somehow. Eventually, he got sick. I believe he got cancer, and the cancer, fortunately, they were able to get it in remission. And then he was sick with liver disease, and Pickle Boy asked for videos of fans telling him how much they love him, and one of the last videos, or maybe the last one, was of my mom, and he knew my mom at this point. I mean, he had known her for years, so he watched her, and it's in the video. One of his, late videos, I'm reacting, one of his more later videos reacting to my mom, wishing him well, and it was a few months later he died. I still don't like thinking about it, because I want to remember, how great he was, what a force of nature, how entertaining he was. And I don't even like thinking, the ache of, I wish he was here. I wish I could just reach out and look him up, and send him a message, because he would respond on to his Facebook messages and comments. He would talk to fans. He did a little live show. Oh, actually, I called into that. I forgot, in 2011. So practically nobody here knew who I was back then. 2011 or 2012. Yeah, it was 2012, I think. He had his radio show, and I called into it, and he couldn't see me, and he said, "Oh, Angelo's a nice guy," that was a nice guy, because I just asked him about him. I said, "Hey, you see your grandkids much?" He would do those live shows once in a while, but anyways, just wanted to say how great he was. Introduce anybody who doesn't know about him. Go watch all his videos, all of them. You will laugh like a maniac, and you'll see what my channel comes from, and the history of my channel with Angry Grandpas, and I never want to forget that influence.
Everybody needs to feel love. Everybody needs to feel like somebody's caring, especially this time of year. But the truth is, I care about you every day of the year. I care about you all the time. It bothers me. I get these little messages, and Ain't nothing I can do, but it's up keeping my thoughts and talking to you and try to keep you focused. I know my videos make you laugh, but this is not a laughing video. This is a I love you video. This is a Merry Christmas video. This is a hold my hand video. Hold each other's hands. Stand tall. Find somebody and say, man, I'm lonely. Can you hold me? Do it. People do care. People are so tired with their own lives right now, they can't see what's going on with their neighbors.